it's got to be pretty bad when they, declare a state of emergency. Huh? It's got to be pretty bad. I thought old Trumpy, he was going to, invoke the Insurrection Act. Oh, I did. Not a state of emergency. Just a second. What was that? I got it wrong. Oh, no, Trump hasn't declared a state of emergency. It's LA. Yes, LA has just declared a state of emergency. Not with ice, but because of ice. Because of people coming in to LA and kidnapping their citizens. And as a result, LA is suffering. And it's suffering for multiple reasons. The people are frightened, understandably so. They've got 3 million immigrants in LA. Let's be fair, everyone in the United States is an immigrant anyway, unless you are a native. Yeah, I mean a proper native, End of the day, Columbus didn't discover the Americas, no. There's people already there, just so you know. Anyway. Genocide, you could call that, I suppose. So the declaration was made by Lindsay P. Harworth and Janeth Hahn, and that was a 4-1 vote to declare it as a state of emergency. You see, it's damaging LA's ability to finance its services in Los Angeles, Because they ain't got the people to do the work, because the people who are doing the work are either in hiding or they've already been taken by ICE. Hard-working immigrants. Whether they be Latinos, Spanish, it doesn't matter. They're doing the jobs that a lot of American citizens either didn't want to do or not willing to do it for the money. It's all very well saying, getting paid a pittance and stuff like that. And quite often, it doesn't really work out like that anyway. But but paid a pittance and stuff. Well, the thing is, then, you want to pay a pittance. These people are just glad to get up a bit of work. They're willing to do that work for that money. Do I like it? No, I don't. I think everyone needs a fair wage for, fair days, fair pay for fair days' work sort of thing, So there are capitalists who take advantage of it. But these changes need to be made gradually, You need to make these changes sensibly, with pragmatism. But now, you have Donald J. Trump, the orange von Schützenpanzer in the White House, sending his private army into LA, literally destroying LA's economy. What's the logic in that? There ain't no logic, because logic doesn't even come into it. It's just pure, utter racism, fascism, control and power. Donald Trump wants power over everything. He wants power over, the judiciary. Obviously the Supreme Court, he's got that pretty much. The military. He's making sure, Repeat Eggs are making sure he's got all the fascists on board. You're not going to try and tell me these people are good people in the National Guard and what have you, and they're helping ICE. How can they be good people doing what they're doing? How can ICE be good people doing what they're doing? They're not. They're fascist bastards and should be treated as such. Fought the Nazis in the Second World War, so why the fuck aren't you fighting them now? I believe wholeheartedly the protests are great, but they are a supplement. They're a supplement. Donald Trump is going to do whatever he can to invoke the Insurrection Act, and he will do it whether you like it or not. It's coming. So the fact of the matter is, you can say, can't do this, can't do that, because you invoke have an excuse for the Insurrection Act. I'm sorry, it's gone past that now. Already. It's gone past that. Fight fire with fire. Put the fear of living God into these people. It's my belief. I'm not saying that's what you should do. That's what my belief is. I've always, because I was quite small at school, what have you, I know it's a different situation or what have you, but, you have to deal with the bullies, and you put the fear of God into them. And if you can do that one way or another, they leave you alone. They run. You see, these people are only strong in numbers. While, if they're on their own, they are weak. They're cowards. They've got tiny wieners. That's why they're going around with all this gear on them, And some of them, which I've seen, which are, quite frankly, are being expelled by Pete Hegseth, are so feckin' round they can't see their feckin' penis. They're the ones who piss all over the toilet seat, alright? Just so you know, because they can't see it, let alone feel it. Okay, I said it. I don't know why I said that, but I did. But anyway. It's a tiny weenie syndrome, alright? Yeah, they're like eunuchs as well. They've got their balls. Because they're cowards. So I could go too far, I really could. But anyway, no. The thing is, ISIS are arresting absolutely anyone now. They started, didn't they, with Hispanics and Latinos, and they went on to the blacks and anyone brown faces, and now they're taking white people as well, and obviously American citizens. They are taking anybody now, because it's all about this so-called Antifa, which isn't even a bloody thing. It's just an idea. It's just a play on words, anti-fascist. Maybe don't say Antifa when you're responding to these people. Just say, I'm anti-fascist. Say that. Don't say Antifa. It's anti-fascist. That's what it is. There is no head of the so-called Antifa that Kristi Noem has just said. We've arrested the daughter of the head of the Antifa. We're now oh, for fuck's sake. It's so ridiculous. It's just painful to see. And there's all this rhetoric and people, it's been repeated so many times, and these people, thick-ass arseholes, or those who are bad actors, are literally just promoting this as though it's real. Surely they know it's not real. Are they really that stupid? So anyway, job sites are closing, factories they can't make their output. Farmers literally say, hang on, the crops are just going to rot in the fields. It's just right across the board. It's not just in, blue states and red states as well. You got the farmers out there crying because they can't sell their crops to China because the soybeans being boycotted in China. And then you got the whiskey producers in Kentucky, the distillers, they're whinging and whining because they can't sell their whiskey to Canada because the elbow's up in the boycotts and what have you. It's just... The list goes on. Systematically, Donald Trump is destroying the United States of America just to feather his own nest. And to gain total power and control over the United States, using the United States military, who's clearly going to have to go against the Constitution if they carry on this way. And if they don't invoke the Insurrection Act, then the military is put onto the streets. Such as the Marines and what. They're literally going to have to fight their own people and go against... all these actions could end up finding themselves all in The Hague. Or, in the courts. If the country finally comes to the senses... and takes over the bloody White House by force, because as it stands, it ain't gonna happen. Nothing's... all this, the elections and shit like that. Donald Trump is controlling the elections. Donald Trump patsies have now bought Dominion voting machines. Half the bloody vote around the country is done by Dominion voting machines. You're not going to try and tell me that these votes are going to be legit now, are you? Now you've got a MAGA owner on these fucking voting machines. A man who said that I can't remember his name now, but he said that it was rigged. They're going to rig the elections. So you are probably going to get an election now, but it's going to be rigged. before saying you weren't going to get an election. Well, why wouldn't he do it now? He can legitimise himself. Because, oh yeah, I got the vote. I got the majority. Once that happens, that is it. And because no one wants to stand up against him. Everyone's frightened about the Insurrection Act. The threat. Well, the threat's there. The current government regime knows that. The Democrats are lame. Democracy has been gone for months now. Because the plan was put in action. As soon as Donald Trump was put in that office, that was the end of democracy. I know you can say, no, that's the vote and stuff like that. People voted for him. Bollocks. That was the end of democracy. A vote that's won on propaganda and, lies, basically, ain't democracy. That is capitalism and people, basically billionaires, at work. Donald Trump wouldn't be in the White House if it wasn't for Elon Musk, for instance. Using your money, buying his fucking cars, making him rich, and then it gets passed on to Trump. To put him into the office of the White House. You see what's going on here? Anyone with half brain cells is fucking obvious. Unless people stand up against this man and this regime, I mean physically stand up against them, you are done in the United States. Done. You're not gonna get through this. Democracy would be dead in water, and hard right politics will be the mainstream in the United States. Anyone who speaks up against them will be gone. Be labelled as Antifa and end up in a gulag somewhere. Trump has pretty much said that. His little minions have pretty much said that. I'm a little bit... Sorry, I'm getting going off on one here, but it's just... I've been saying it for fucking months. I've been saying it for a while, haven't I? You have to deal with a bully head on. And no one was willing to do it. Because they seem to think, though, with the midterms and this, that and the other. I don't see it. I hope I'm wrong. I just don't see it. And I think you left it too late. I really do. Anyway, I'm going to go. I'm just going to lose my fucking mind. Toodaloo.